Shalom, shalom, brethren. Brother Rob coming at you on this beautiful Middle Tennessee Monday morning, guys. It is January 5th. We out getting these bodies moving, guys. We ain't quitting. We out here in the cold, man, and that's okay. We was out here in the heat a few months ago. Guys, we ain't quitting, man. We ain't quitting. Sometimes we might slow down a little bit, but we ain't quitting. Hey, guys, I want to show you something. Y'all might remember, those of you been watching me for a little while, I did a video when I first started about this place, and I think it might have been titled A Fork in the Road. But I illustrated here how there was 3 different ways you could go when you come to a fork in the road. You can either split off one of those ways, or you can turn around and go backwards. Guys, last thing we want to do is go backwards. The Lord said that he would rather you be hot or cold rather than lukewarm, and that's what turning around and going backwards really is. We can't go backwards, man. Once you really discovered who Jesus was, man, there ain't no turning back, man. We've done seen too much. But what I want to talk about today is this road right here. I hope y'all can see that. Oops, your brother about fell. That road it was freshly paved just a while back. Y'all, we're gonna get down here to our peaceful spot. I can't just be standing out in the middle of the road around here. People drive crazy. People are nutty. But yeah, so if you noticed, if you looked at that one particular road in the fork there, that road, it wasn't the freshest pavement, but it hadn't been that long ago that it was fresh. But let me tell you what they do here in Middle Tennessee, and I'm sure they do this everywhere. They come through with a fresh, pretty fresh black coat of asphalt. They come through with a really pretty coating and covering of asphalt, and then they paint them bright white and yellow lines on it, and it just pops, man. You can tell it's just brand new. But that only comes after years and years and years and years of just halfway patching potholes, and then them potholes reforming and cracks and all the stuff, right? And then after all else has failed, after all them patch jobs has failed, they come through with a fresh coat and they paint it up real pretty. But let me tell you what happens. Within a few years, them potholes start reforming as those roads are being used for what they're made to do, and they start taking that wear and tear. We're down at our peaceful spot, guys. I get sporadic sometimes, y'all, but yeah, let's get back to this message. So when they put that pretty coat on top of all the patchwork and all the holes that have reformed, and it had just gotten to the point where it just shakes your car to the point that you can't even hardly drive down that road no more. And then they lay that pretty coat over top of it, and it looks good for a little while, man. It looks pretty. Looks pretty. After a couple years traveling on that road, them holes, they start reforming, like I was saying. And then all that prettiness, what's underneath the surface, starts showing through. You got your spiritual ears on this morning? I'm gonna tell you what, I would rather have my road look like that right there, where I can at least see the potholes before I get to them and dodge them, you know what I'm saying, rather than get right up on them and have your car fall off in one. What I'm saying, man, is sometimes the pretty things, sometimes the nice looking things, sometimes the things that look spiritual and look godly have holes all underneath it. Holes that poke through, and that could come in with the spirit of religion, spirit of fear, all kinds of attacks, man. There's all kinds of attacks, guys. But those of you who've really dug in and been trudging this path out with the Lord for a long time now, seems like you've been swimming against the current. Seems like you've been doggy paddling. Let me tell you a story. I jumped in the Tennessee River one time night. I wasn't completely sober. This was BC Rob. This was before Christ Rob. And man, I thought I was just going to jump in the Tennessee River and swim it like I do these little creeks and these little slow flowing bodies of water around here in this little town that I'm from. But when I got in that current, I seen what a true flowing river was like, man, and it swept me away. I started panicking because I was going to the middle of nowhere, man. I was going to the abyss, and I could not doggy paddle my way out of it. Somehow I managed to quit panicking and decide that I needed to swim over to the side and not swim against the current. Because over to the side, there was less current. There was less current over there in the more shallow waters. So I swam over there to safety rather than trying to swim against the current because I was being swept away. Guys, we get on this walk with the Lord and it seems like we're swimming against the current, and sometimes we are. Sometimes we just got to know who the Ark is. The Ark of the Covenant is the one true living God, Jesus Christ, and he says, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Sometimes rest don't feel like rest because we get our eyes focused on what the world's doing. We start remembering all them potholes that's underneath the surface on them pretty roads, on them pretty smiles that stand in front of your face and laugh at you behind your back, on them pretty smiles that have hugged you, and the whole time they got their arms wrapped around you, they got a knife in their hand, poking them holes, poking them holes, poking them holes. And eventually you get to that point where no matter what the road looks like, you don't walk down it so many times that you know it is full of holes and it ain't gonna do nothing but damage you. So we take a different path, right? Sometimes we have to cut our own path. And if you're walking alone with the Lord right now, then you are in the best place that you can be. Because you won't have to worry about any potholes. That path that Jesus got you on, that straight and narrow path, the ones of you who's doing that inner work, man, there's a lot of people that I've met that have been through drug addiction. They found the Lord, they opened the door to the Lord, but then they just stopped right there. They're like, well, I ain't doing the dope no more, I've arrived. Man, that's stagnant. That gets you stagnant, man, because there's always more work to be doing. There's always inner work that we can be doing. That's why the Lord says, clean up your own backyard, or don't look at the splinter in your neighbor's eye, but to pull out the plank in our own. So guys, let's just keep doing that inner work. Let's keep healing and growing and keep this walk on. We're going to get our exercise on this morning. We're going to get our spiritual minds on. Shalom, shalom, brethren. Now, I got about 2 more miles that way to go. Shalom, shalom. Let's get it.